and I was like, I didn't want to do that. Anyway, yeah, we got Thrash here too.
Hey, what's good, homie?
One thing I
What's good? What's
want,
good?
we're gonna get before everybody else gets here. I wanted to because I couldn't make your podcast, and I wish I could have made it on Sunday because,
Mm-hmm.
um, I have a problem with what happened with the Breakfast Club. I mean, I listened to it, and my problem is they say that they are just regular people. Well, then, if you're just regular and and you don't and it's not abnormal, okay, why do you associate yourself with a group of people and just say we're just this? We're just transgender. Why would you associate with the LBGT community if you're not that way, and instead of just acting normal? And I want to ask you that because that's a question that I don't think nobody asked.
And that's something that's crazy because it's like if it's normal, right? If it's a normal situation, it has to be under normal circumstance, right? So if you come up to me and say something, do I could assume that you're the opposite sex or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you could be like, I want to classify as this. I would never know that. That is not a normal circumstance. So it's like they
Well,
disregard that things like that do happen, and that we have to go by that type of law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
well, when it comes to that crazy shit, I mean, I don't mind anybody. I mean, whatever your life choices are, or your life choices, not my place to tell you how to live. But if I see a pig fucking a dog, I'm gonna think that ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? Or if I see a bear with a zebra body, nigga, that's gonna be abnormal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's the difference between normal and your choice. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody
Right.
makes choices that's abnormal. What's normal anyway? You know what I'm saying? Normal would be something that's an everyday thing that happens that people sees, and that's like a thing of life. And
Yeah.
a
I
man being a woman ain't normal because nigga, you got a dick. I mean,
I guess that's
that's
the real
just not
fight,
a
though.
normal part of
The
a woman.
the
I
real
mean,
fight
you
is
can
that
have
they
the mindset. You can be
yeah, like the real fight is that they want it to be normalized, and
All
it's
right,
like
but
it's not.
yeah,
yeah, but I was
it'll
listening
never
to you
be
saying that. But
normalized. Right?
the thing that bothers me about it is, you know, I mean, look at this. They'll look at, and I'm going to use one of these as an example, but then I want to get something. One, I don't like when anything is forced on other people, and they're trying to force it on everybody else. Okay. Whatever you do in your life and in your bedroom, that's your damn business. I don't really care. I mean, if that's the way you want to be, I'm okay with it. I just don't want it in my face. Okay. I'm not out there putting my relationship in your face. But what bothers me the most is they have a better platform than an interracial couple does. We'll get looked at like, oh, ew, that's disgusting. That's wrong. Why are you a race trader? Why are you this? Why are you that? But it's normal for them. And at
Well,
least
they're
we
not
know.
thinking. Well, my bad. Go
No,
ahead.
what I'm saying is, Trash. At least it's a man and a woman. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we're not
No. Yeah. I
trying.
mean,
Or
right. You're right.
we
I
get
mean,
looked at like we're fucked up, and it's wrong. I mean, how many sites you go to and interracial dating, they're trying to knock it bad.
right. I mean,
Uh, uh,
everybody should be able to accept what everybody's doing or everybody else's life choices because nobody should have control over nobody. That's what slavery did. And
Yes,
I mean, I don't agree with slavery, so I'm not going to agree with anybody telling anybody what to do or how to do it.
right.
But you can't take you can't take you can't force shit like you want it to be normal. You can't want something to be normal. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't even get race right. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, I mean, I'm black, I walk into a Mexican neighborhood, all them niggas gonna look at me like I don't belong. Like it ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it should be normal. There's plenty of things that should be normal in this world that it is not. And you can't sit there and just get mad because somebody, if you want normal, then be okay with somebody calling you a bitch ass, faggot ass, whole ass nigga because that's normal. If somebody doesn't agree with what you like, and you got them people who just do some stupid shit for stupid reasons, that's normal in human society. So, I mean, if you're gonna cry like a bitch when somebody tell you that you a little gay ass nigga, then you can't be you ain't gonna never be normal. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
it just you make a choice about how you gonna live your life, and that's up to you to make that choice. But don't expect everybody to accept it. Motherfuckers can't even accept the fact that I'm hood as fuck on YouTube, let alone you having a dick and acting like you don't. I mean, am I gonna run into? I seen a fire ass looking girl that I thought was a man on YouTube. I mean, that I thought was a man that I thought it was a girl. I'll give you the link. I was like, I even fucked with the round table with that shit. Like, nigga, hey, look, people in the chat was like, yeah, she's sexy. I'm like, yo, she's sexy. You know, fucking with him and shit. They're really a guy. But like, I mean, even the voice, everything, like down to the T, right? And you know, it's like that's not gonna be normal to date somebody that's acting like a woman. You finally think you're about to get some cheeks, shit bigger than you. Like, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? That's just like because not everybody niggas don't. I don't know how to tell these niggas because niggas don't want to see that. Like, I'm not gonna picture a pussy pulls the pants down and see it. I don't want to see that. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to know. That's gonna ruin my life. Man, I'm like, ugh. I thought of things with you, bitch. Like, it's just
you know what's crazy? I remember on Kix's when they did the podcast, I heard him say it and I busted out laughing because somebody says, well, is it normal if they have a bigger dick than you do?
Wow, that might have been big.
I mean, we already know about it. We already know about
no, I said on the podcast.
They gotta be more comfortable with themselves, nigga. They gotta be able to be like, hey, I'm really a nigga. I'm just really good at looking like bitches. But I still like niggas though. Like,
y'all remember that segment in Maury where it was like, is this a man or a woman?
Yep.
Come on. I know half of y'all was wrong, son. I know half of y'all was wrong.
Nigga, my cousin did me super dirty. I think it was on Oprah or some shit. It was this white dude. And when I say this nigga looked exactly like some fire ass white chick, I was like, I should have known as fuck. She cold as fuck, and she's all giggling like, "Hey, how you think she's?" I'm like, "Sure." She was like, "You hit that?" I was like, "Nigga, give me one beer. I don't even need two for that." You know what I'm saying? I'm talking shit.
Whoa! I want to read this comment real quick.
And then they say, "Oh, it's a man." I'm like, "Oh, you fuck y'all. I'm never looking at this shit." Go ahead, my bad. Read the comment, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to read this comment. Andrew Wilkins. What up, bro? But he said, same as pansexuality, which is huge. Pan is a satanic god. The story of Peter Pan is about a grown man who lured little boys into the woods with his flute, not little girls. And Jesus, that took a dark turn right there.
Yeah, that's a super dark turn. Jesus.
Right.
I'd never eat that peanut butter again, my guy. Yeah,
and pansexuality is like your love for anything, right? Like you could love fucking Siri if you wanted to. I think that's what pansexuality is, right?
Oh, wow.
Like you can love anything,
something like that. Well, there was something I forget what it was. It was back a while ago. There was I don't know if it was his favorite animal. I don't know if it was a horse, a donkey, a pig, or whatever it was. Some guy married an animal at sea.
Yes.
At sea with the captain or something. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, he married an animal. That was his bitch.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, how you know the animal didn't even know? Goddamn, you don't know if the animal really wanted cuz. Yeah, like, it's forced marriage.
Hey, yo, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I hear you, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's one. Can anybody else hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You wanted to talk about pansexuality so bad. I know, bro.
No, what I was going to say was Japan did get old girl and her, two little brothers.
Who is that in there now? Is that 6?
You sounding robotic.
For real?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes, Sick. You sound a little bit robotic. Slightly.
All right. I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a weird. All right, so let's get into another weird subject, time for. Why did you want to use my beautiful face? All right.
I just did that to be a smart ass.
Oh, because you want the rights to my face? Is that what it is?
I couldn't read this. Come on now. All right, before we go, let me just say hi to some people that are watching already. We got Sick, El Matador, Sick Humor, El Matador. Who else we got? Cyber, Support, Andrew, Money, Juvie, Nathaniel, and there was one other one. Beyonder. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up. Isn't part of the normal podcast I was going to do, but since these guys came by, I didn't make their podcast yesterday. I had to invite some of them. I had to get my little 2 cents in here. You know, Thrash, you brought up something before we get into the topics. You brought up something where if you're comfortable with yourself, you can call somebody like a faggot or whatever. If you're comfortable with yourself, it shouldn't bother you.
Oh no.
I thought that was.
But if you want to be normal, you got to be accept all that.
Yeah, exactly. Because the reason I say that is because I have people and Thrash. I think you were in a stream one time when somebody did that, and it's more than just in my streams. People call me a nigger lover.
Oh,
and
yeah, I heard. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, so I mean, so I mean, you can say what you want, but if you're not in my shoes, don't worry about it. If you don't like who I date, it shouldn't bother you. You don't even know me. Why does it bother you who I date?
Oh no! I think the point of that would be to bother you. I think they were just trying to bother you in totality.
I've got people on Twitter now telling me to whiten up my shit.
Because they're like, that's the only way you're gonna get paid. Just whiten up. That's
Listen,
crazy.
I mean, they basically tell me that shit to my mind. Like, why you say nigga so much? What do you mean, nigga? Like, how am I supposed to speak on YouTube? Like, nigga, I YouTube don't mean you, nigga. It mean me, nigga. Like, make your own channel and don't say nigga at all. Like, I don't get why people too controlling about what they want to do and how they want people to do.
But the reason I brought up that is to say, why are people concerned about what other people do? If you keep your life, basically private. I mean, we ain't out there in the street doing nasty shit and promoting shit. We ain't doing no, crazy parades, doing, interracial relationships. We're not doing all this. Why does everything else have to be thrown in other people's faces that are heterosexuals? That's not right.
I think the best way to do it, the best way to say it is, if you want to be normal, nigga, then be normal. Then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta act like a certain way. If you that, you that. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta parade that shit or try to make it to where you making other people uncomfortable because you want them to know what you are. That's not normal. I don't walk around my job somewhere with a do-rag on talking about, nigga, file these papers before I fuck you up. I don't go around doing that shit, letting people know that I'm stupid level hood or some shit. I don't do that. I'm not comfortable with making people comfortable, bro. I don't like walking down the street, you know what I'm saying, and a lady clutch her purse because I'm on the same side of the street as her. I don't like that shit. I don't want your purse, but I feel bad for her because, and I feel bad myself because I'm being profiled just from the sight of me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why are you profiling me? I mean, but at the same time, I understand because I know shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they ignore the other shit. But I mean, shit happens to where I can't blame them. But at the same time, it's hard not to get profiled. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to accept all that negativity to be normal. You just do. You got to accept all that negativity.
First, I want to welcome Lincoln Clay. Welcome, Lincoln.
Hey, what up, Lincoln?
He made it.
What up, Lincoln?
Can you hear us, Lincoln?
Because I wanted to give two sides to that, because you kind of brought up something and then a little bit you contradicted yourself in a small way. Whereas like you bring up that because you're talking about, oh, you can't say this to me like it's normal, right? They can't be like, oh, let's say transgender, supposedly. It's like, yeah, I talk to you normally, like if me and you went on a date, and you don't have to bring up that I'm a transsexual because that's what a normal person would do. But then they're not, quote unquote. They have some certain things that we're not looking for. So it's like, you gotta say that shit. But then to the other side,
you gotta look for another transsexual. You gotta look for somebody that would like you. I mean, yeah, it's not normal. It's not normal. It's impossible to be normal. But they gotta try to be normal in the first place. You gotta understand that to be respectful for everybody around you, you gotta go after people who want you. You know what I'm saying? For you, they shouldn't have to tell motherfuckers, "Oh, I'm a transsexual." Right. But then you gotta be amongst other transsexuals to not have to say that shit. So
Or,
it's
Right.
possible.
And the reason
or
why, the
wait,
reason
not
why,
wait, not
yeah,
only
go ahead, go ahead.
not only sexual. Sorry, um, they got to be around somebody, because there could be somebody who, you know, just likes dudes but likes a transsexual and he's a male, so he got to look into that too. You know, a male that may accept him in that way. So it's
Yeah.
not just another transsexual. It also happens to be a guy that, you know, is into dudes. You know, they call him, you know, gay. Okay, but he has to be, you know, that may be into stuff like that. So
Right.
it's not just
And
transsexual.
the only reason I say your statement was a little bit contradictory is because you said, let's say if you're a dark skinned dude walking in the store, you don't want them looking at you like you're about to rob something, because that's exactly not to say we look at trannies that way or transgender. Let me not say that, where it's like, oh, you got a dick on you? Oh, that's fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? We gotta treat them like normal human beings. But then when you walk into a store, you want people to treat you like you shopping. You know what I mean? So that's
I
where,
mean, no, that's why I said you got to be able to accept the negativity. Like I accept the fact that when I walk into a store, people might think I'm going to rob them. Because shit,
I'm not gonna accept that.
they got to be able to accept that. They got to be able to accept. I got to accept it because I can't help it. I can't help how people think. I can't help how I think. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the South somewhere and I see two white dudes with Confederate flags, I might just assume that them niggas is racist. You know what I'm saying? They might not be. Them niggas just might like the Confederacy or something.
But that would be the problem.
I mean, we can't help the we can't help the stereotype. You can't help the stereotype, and it's normal to have bad stereotypes amongst everybody. You know what I'm saying?
You can kind of help the stereotype. What if your stereotype is terrible? Like, oh, all these dudes stink. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that stereotype.
I'm black.
You can definitely help that stereotype.
No.
Actually,
we got the best and the worst stereotype.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Do I sound robotic?
Not now.
No, you good.
All right. Did you do intros or anything like that, or we just spouting off here?
No, we didn't do that yet because I actually hit the button. I was supposed to be just getting you guys in here and just talk a little bit, but I accidentally hit the button and started the show before it was supposed to start. So
yeah.
Okay. What about now? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Lincoln, we can hear you.
Word. Excellent. You know, I mean, I know y'all going in on y'all's a little trans, you know.
Hey, I don't even know how this came about, nigga. I didn't even know
I'm just trying to figure out where I could go ahead and let y'all know I'm in here, man.
Oh, you should just say all you have to do is say, wait a second, I'm here. That's it.
Nah, y'all going off. So I mean, y'all go ahead, go back, man. Somebody's being contradictory, and somebody should accept that they get it wrong. All right, cool.
Actually, the Thrash wasn't contradictory about what he said because he wasn't talking about going into the store. He was talking about walking on the same side of the street with a woman, and I've actually seen it on YouTube where a white woman will clench her purse. But you know what? While you're worrying, one thing I'm going to say, while you're worried about that black guy and ready to take your purse, you know, there's a white guy around the corner, maybe, or an Hispanic or an Asian or whatever, somebody else that's around the corner. Right. Wait, let's be finished. Watching you pay attention to him and running from him, and they're going to snatch your purse.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why it's a stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because everybody does it. It's equal crime from equal people, bro. Like everybody do this crazy shit.
That's why I mention different things because I don't want anybody to think I'm just targeting white and black. No, it's in every color, every creed, every race. There's shit that happens. There are those type of people. You know, go to jails. You'll find out pickpocketers and all that. They you know, and they blame it all on black. No, it's not. That's not the way it is. It's not the way it is. So there is a bad stereotype out there. I don't worry about clenching my purse unless somebody just looks retarded. I don't care what color you are, what race you are. If you look strange and you staring too hard, I'm moving.
Yeah, I mean, I used to date a Hispanic chick, and she would like the CD dude. We in Compton and shit. The CD dude, you know, saying we'll be in the street getting ready to try to sell somebody some CDs. She'll lock the door. She's like, "Oh, scary ass, shut up." I ain't gonna beat him up if you try something. But she said, she with me, so she love black dudes. It's just that, you know, people, it like, you know, you see enough of shit on TV, you hear enough of shit that you begin to believe it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to accept the fact that people hear shit and feel certain type of ways about shit. If you're a tranny nigga and you want to be accepted as normal, then it is normal for people not to accept you for who you are.
Damn,
So if you
that's
want to be normal, then be normal. Then nigga, accept the fact that niggas do not like who you are.
No, but he's right though. It's not a bold statement because if people want to be normal, then you got to say the same instead of stereotyping people. Accept the black person for who they are.
Right,
Accept this person who they are. Accept that person for who they are.
They ain't gonna never accept Indians. They ain't gonna never accept Asians. They ain't gonna never accept whites. Everywhere you go, there's gonna be somebody who doesn't accept something because humans are dumb as fuck.
Okay,
that's just what it is.
We're done with that. We're actually going to start the show, but before we start, we're gonna do some intros. I don't have to introduce myself because you all are here. You know who I am. So, and you all love me. So it is what it is. But we'll get started. Go ahead, Kicks. Do your intro.
It is your boy Kicks Super. All right. Well, that's what I got in the name right there. But I go by Kicks 218, man. What's up, y'all?
All right. Well, okay. Next we got Six. What's up?
Hey yo, it's just Sick, man. Shouts out to Titanfall Princess for having us on. Shouts out to everybody that's in here, even the chat. And I'm representing Kick and Sick Business podcast. Come check us out 6 p.m. on Sundays. We talk shit.
Yeah, they talk a lot of shit. They got me into some shit, tried to get me into some shit the last time I was on. But anyway, go ahead, Lincoln.
All right. Yo, what's good, everybody? It is the godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder, the VR king of the crumb side, your boy Lincoln Clay, down with the Titanfall Princess. What's going on, everybody?
Okay. Last but not least, we got the one who everybody don't like the way he talk and how he talks or how he puts people in their place, Mr. KingThrash. Go ahead. Thrash, where are you?
Oh shit!
Don't tell me.
Where'd he go?
He put himself in this place. Oh shit!
Damn.
He must have put his places. Well, I know he was in the car to start with. So, what happened doing when he come back? No big deal. Before I get started with the podcast, there's one thing I want to say, and I'm glad Lincoln's here. I just want to let you have the platform for 1 second and talk about how you two put your ass in jail.
Yes, they did. I think it was what was it? Friday or Saturday night around midnight. I was doing a live podcast, and it turns out that I was using video from the old Star Blazer cartoon, otherwise known as Space Battleship Yamato. And Bandai Namco, I guess they, did a copyright match on that. And my podcast was immediately terminated right in the middle of it. Followed thereafter by email from Google telling me that, I can't stream for 90 days.
Wow.
At least live stream. So the move is to, I'm just going to go ahead and do live streams from Twitch and then probably import them over to YouTube. But once I get all this thing situated, I'll tweet out my Twitch channel and then go from there.
Okay. No, I just thought it was crazy because you know what? They could, if they were that mad, they could have waited until your stream was over. I mean, you not only got put in jail, but they spanked the shit out your ass by stopping your stream right in the middle.
Yeah, but it's fucked up as there was a watermark on the video that I did use. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if I should use this or not. But I decided to go ahead and take that chance and ended up paying the price for it.
Oh, okay. Well, now I can hear Thrash back. We were doing.
I'm back.
We were doing our intros, and you missed the big intro I gave you. So, now it's just
damn.
Thrash, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and just do your intro. Get it now.
Hey, my bad. I told you I was driving, man. I had to get up in the house. You know what I'm saying? My bad. How y'all doing? And the sexiest nigga in the room is here. You know what I'm saying? Back up. I'm taking on Monday through Friday. Nigga, on the weekends, holler. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
There's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him. Anyway, but before we get into any of the topics at all, I had a time this week, okay, to really think about YouTube, okay, and one of the questions I always bump into, and this is not only for me but for the panel, okay, as a content creator, what made you want to be a YouTuber, okay? With all the BS that happens on this platform, what was it about YouTube that made you put out videos or start a podcast to do any sort of content? Since I thought of the subject, I'm going to go first, okay? And then you guys just give me a little tidbit of what it was. Yeah. For me, I just started out. It was just watching YouTube, okay, and I enjoyed watching what people were doing with content, content creation and gaming, and sometimes sports or whatever, okay. And then my ex made me a channel. Okay, hence the name that is attached to the channel that everybody thought I was a tranny because of, and I'm gonna say tranny because they called me one, so I could use it in that manner, because of his name associated with it. Okay, but before I even did YouTube, I started out with me just putting up some small little game clips and getting about 5 to 10 views per video. I was like, oh, that's all right. Okay, and then I was coached on just sharing my opinion or short commentary during game clips. So I started doing that during game clips, and I noticed instead of getting single digit views, I started getting like 20 views. Then it went to 50 views, and then it kept on going up for a few weeks. Down the line, it kept going up and up and up. Some of the YouTubers I watched at the time stopped by my channel. Okay. And I have to give credit where credit's due, no matter what happened, no matter what you think of these people. I have to give credit where credit's due. Okay. Especially when I first was trying to start. I have to give credit to like people like Showstopper and Next Gen 720 for being the first YouTubers to actually watch and leave a comment on my old videos. Okay. And I wasn't even thinking of doing a podcast or anything back then. I think that I was, I think that what really made me want to do YouTube was I saw it was fun. Okay, I was having fun, and you had all the personalities. A few years ago, stuff like corporate slave awards actually mattered then. Now it's just, now it's just nothing. It wasn't, and it wasn't oversaturated like it is now. YouTube, it's not oversaturated. Okay, because I still remember 2 years ago when everybody was going on a podcast. Every time I looked on Twitter or YouTube, somebody was making a new podcast. Okay, but before that, we just had a handful of podcasts. So my motivation was fun. One thing was I pissed off a lot of people, and it was actually fun to do. I'm sorry, it was. I moved on. I moved on. Okay, and I'm sure there's a lot more to this history. I just wanted to give just like a little brief synopsis. But what I really want to do is hear from the panel, because I've never heard you guys talk about this. So I thought it would be a good thing for people watching to find out what got you into YouTube and why you do YouTube, and also, do you guys consider yourself a YouTuber? Who wants to go first?
Shoot, I'll gladly take this one, because this is something that it's an honor to talk about this for me, because a few years ago I was part of a Facebook gaming group, and I was well caught up into the console war back then because I had a high disdain for Microsoft. I still don't care for them to this very day. But I posted a lot of negative stuff about Microsoft in this Facebook group, and people started getting tired of it. So I wanted to take it to a different platform where my voice can be heard, and I started watching YouTube videos. And at some point, I discovered KingThrash. Absolutely love his content. Still my favorite YouTuber to this day. And I reached out to him, and we became friends. Thanks, my man.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Thrash and we became friends. And we talked a lot before I started my YouTube channel. When I made the decision to start a YouTube channel, I talked to Thrash about it, and he said, "Do it. I'll be your biggest supporter." And true to form, too. Once I started the channel, he was the first person to subscribe to the channel. He helped put the word out about me. He would include me in his videos and stuff. And just like that first day, he got me like 17 subscribers when he was like, "Hey, check out my man Lincoln Clay." There's a lot of people to thank for this. KingThrash, Titanfall Princess. I'm speaking about you as a third person, Princess. But when you came on the Lincoln show, you got me the most subs in one single day. I think you got me like 35 subs by coming on to the Lincoln show, and I'm forever grateful for that. And
because I told everybody to watch. I told everybody to watch. He's got good content. Watch him.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely appreciate that to this day. There's other people to thank. Sick Humor, Craig Harris. The list goes on and on and on. But and I pretty much enjoy doing YouTube. I'm not here for the money or super chat or nothing like that. I do it because I love it.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the last question was, do you consider yourself a YouTuber? The only reason why I say that because some people say I do this, but I don't consider myself a YouTuber.
I kind of don't consider myself a YouTuber because I don't feel like I'm creating content. I feel like everybody that's subbed to my channel is my friend, and I'm talking to my friends. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. Okay. And thank you for that acknowledgement. I appreciate that. But when people like each other and people have good content, that's what you're supposed to do when you do gaming or do a podcast or do shows. You're supposed to stick together. So, but I do appreciate that. What about you, Thrash?
Oh shit. What's up?
If you don't want to talk, you don't have to talk.
Nah, you know I'm fucking with you. You know I'm fucking with you.
I know.
I don't know, man. When I first started watching YouTube, I'm one of those. I'm an artist, right? Like from my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, nigga, I sold $10,000 pieces before, and so I would watch YouTube just to see different shit, like to get motivation to do art. I would watch like weather shit, UFO shit. Lord, I was always a gamer, day one, from birth. You know what I'm saying? I got pictures of me holding an Atari controller unplugged while everybody else playing it. I'm thinking I'm playing too. I was that kid that was not playing but thinking he was playing. So I'm always been a gamer, avid gamer, and but I never like got into the gaming scene on YouTube. I was always like on N4G, clowning on there and shit. And I finally ran into, I think it was Stone Fox Media on YouTube, and I was watching. I'm like, oh, this black ass nigga dressing up like Mario and shit. And you know what I'm saying? I saw him, that got me the thought about doing it. And then I heard Foxy Games, whatever that nigga name is, that British nigga, that Foxy nigga. He I saw his shit for, I think, his podcast. And I saw that, I'm like, damn, all these niggas is corny as a motherfucker. And there ain't no black dudes that's black dudes where I come from on YouTube, to where they can, people who talk like I do, who feel like I do about games, but at the same time know the lingo of mine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, this is before I ran into niggas like Sick. I mean, Z, that nigga ain't got lingo like me, but I mean, you could tell that nigga, on the block like that. People I never knew about those niggas. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it my own way. I'm gonna try it myself. I ran into J-Tech and asked J-Tech for some pointers on this shit, right? Not knowing who J-Tech was and everything, my nigga. This nigga didn't help me nothing, nigga. Just shit, nothing. Right? now this motherfucker want to be on my podcast and shit. But nah, he didn't even help me, nothing. But still, I did everything from scratch. You know what I'm saying? I found out how to do it on the PlayStation. Learned. I mean, if you watch my first video to now, it's just like a contrast. I'm still using the same machine, just the difference in quality grew. But my whole passion for it, the main passion behind it was I saw too much bullshit going on. You know what I'm saying? With the console war and with these companies, I never seen people really question the companies, really question what's really going on with gaming. You know, what's the real goods and the real bads. You know, I just hear people just either arguing about shit or complaining about shit, but nobody really trying to have that gamer conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the further I got into the shit, the more that I seen that these niggas ain't really gamers. They just YouTubers who play games. And that drove me even more than, you know, how I talk and how I am and how I speak. With the stereotype, people automatically think I'm just an ignorant person. So then the drive turns into, okay, I'm going to do everything these niggas feel like a nigga like me can't do. So I'm doing documentaries. I'm doing analysis. I'm doing all type of shit. Like, I got trailers for my shit. You don't see nobody on YouTube who makes a trailer for the next episode of what they're about to do. You know what I'm saying? All on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to do different shit. I had shit where I had custom commercials in the middle of my shit, not selling nothing, just clowning Microsoft for PlayStation. I would do skit shows, you know what I'm saying? Gaming based skits and shit. All this shit got popular as fuck. And that's my drive for the shit. But for the last question, no, I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm a gamer who does YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber who plays games. I do all this shit for free. I don't want none of your money. I don't want your subscription. I don't want your like. Nigga, just watch my shit or don't. My shit is for the gamer who just want to talk about games, good, bad, or ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really give a fuck about how anybody feel about nothing about anything. It's just I'm gonna be on YouTube being me, and that's a gamer. And if you can't relate, then nigga, you ain't the gamer, or I don't know. I don't know. You a tranny. I don't know. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, that's my take on it, at least.
No, but I agree with you on that. It's there for fun. If you don't like my content, don't watch. What you said at the end is exactly how I feel about what I do. So I appreciate that. Before I get into everybody else, I didn't get a chance to shout out a lot of people. A lot of people have jumped in here. Craig, what's going on? Hey, Craig, I sent your ass a link. I don't know why you ain't here. But anyway, Bray, Love, Christopher Hart, Impatient, Robot Master, Ross Silly, Outlaw, Tony Wood, Lay, Rich Boy, and Clutch Murray. What's going on? Thank you guys for coming by. Hit that like button. We got more content coming up. Okay. Talk about some gaming and some other stuff. So please stay here. Tell your friends about us. Come and join and hit that like button. Okay. Now we're going to get into the rest of you guys. Kicks. What about you?
That nigga don't stream. Why you asking him? It's like I'm playing. Go ahead.
Oh, this guy always got something to say.
Come on.
Oh man. All right. So let me answer the latter question, which is are you a YouTube a content creator, right? Or a YouTube creator?
No, do you consider yourself a YouTuber?
Okay, yeah. So no, I don't. So I'm gonna answer that first. No, I don't, because I only got a couple of streams on my channel.
Okay.
But what I would say is the reason for that is because I don't really dig the live stream sense. You know, it's dope, it's cool. You get to chat it up. Everybody's cool. They come through. That's great. But what I really want to do is make content. And content, you know, I feel like involves research, if a topic, maybe just something that you could make a piece, chop it up, and you could put it out there, call it your own. So I feel like I want to make content for me to consider myself even to be a YouTuber. So that's why I haven't been live streaming, even though I want to. I haven't been live streaming. But
okay. Oh, you got another butt.
Right. So no, not even. You know,
I'm messing with you. Go ahead, kid. Go ahead.
Forget the cakey. You know what I'm saying? All right. So if we talking how I started, it was with these knuckleheads. So part of Kick and Stick business, Just Sick, which is in the panel right here, and Biz, Biz in the chat right now. They're the ones that wanted me, that made me want to start live streaming.
Hold on 1 second, Biz. I sent you a link to where's your ass.
Oh,
all right, he down here. There. No, I'm gonna put his ass on the spot. Where's your ass? I'll send your ass a link. You guys talk about. I don't want. No, where are you? Don't play with me. You better find that link and do something.
Yo, relax.
Yep.
Stop yelling.
He knows I'm playing. I play like this all. Listen, you got to get to know me. I get like this, and it's all one big joke. I love playing with people. I love joking with people. Ask Thrash. How many times I talk shit Thrash, and we go back and forth. Come on. I mean, it's fun. Ask Lincoln when we play fighting games. Lincoln, how much trash do I talk to you? How much fun do we
I
have?
knew that was coming up, so I might as well go ahead and put it out there before she get me. Because she done beat my ass. I don't know how many times in Tekken.
I wasn't talking. I was talking about the way I talk, not about that, Lincoln. You didn't have to go all there.
No, but I thought it was gonna get there because because the shit talking was headed in that direction.
No, I wasn't going to put that out there. That's for you to put out there. But yeah, Biz.
like,
but no, go ahead,
yeah.
Kicks. I just had to put him out there for a second.
Right. So shout out Just Sick in the Panel and Biz. They wanted me they started me to get into live streaming. These guys are some unique dudes, and I'm like, yo, we mesh together pretty damn well. So we started live streaming together and all that stuff. So that's what got me into the scene. And also, I always wanted to do a YouTube myself, and what it was that I needed like-minded people. So I could have an opinion on certain things because I'm very abstract. I think kind of against the grain, if you want to say. So I think about all the other shit opposed to what, maybe might be trending. So I always wanted to have like-minded people on my stuff. And also just people. And I grew up in the hood, man. Ain't nobody playing games in the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, where the gamers at out here? Like, ain't no gamers in the hood. So I'm like, yo, I want to have like-minded people, a group, so I could talk about my mess. And that's why I want to be a content driven type channel and things like that. But I'm doing the kicking sick.
Son, you don't know our name?
Business.
You can't even get your own podcast right title. Come on now.
Hey, blame these beers. Blame these beers. But yeah, I'm on the podcast. And we having a grand old time, man. That's what got me.
Okay. Well, one thing I will say, you guys do work well together. I saw that, and that's why I wanted to come to your podcast, because I enjoy listening to you, and I figured I could fit in, because no matter what I did, my opinion is my opinion. You guys are gonna, just be okay. That's your opinion. This is the way I feel. You're not gonna down me for my opinion. You're not gonna oust me for my opinion. That's one thing I liked about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I stopped doing a lot of podcasting, because I couldn't get people constant that were like that. That's why I put this group together, because I think we all work well together. I can work with all y'all that are on this panel at any given time without a problem. So I appreciate, So, and I try, and other people like Craig, Sick, and all that, and Biz, who of course didn't show his ass up. Craig didn't show his ass up. So it's whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I gotta bust their chops. If you don't know me by now, well, I'm a chop buster. I'm gonna bust your chops.
Painful. Keep bringing up that LeBron GOAT conversation. Sick needs to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm gonna leave Sick at it now, because I heard some of his comments and he was sending them back to me. I don't know why he's still upset about that. It's been weeks already. Let it go. But now
I'm good.
Speaking of Six, we got him up next to tell us about his YouTube stuff. So go ahead, Six.
Damn, you gave me a new nickname. All right, man. I'm sick. I'm sick, no pun intended. But nah, it's just sick, man.
I'm gonna mess with you. Come on now. You messed with me on the podcast when I was there, so it's my turn to mess with you.
All right, I'm gonna fuck with you back. But
I know that.
Man, I started YouTube just figuring I could just go ahead and stream some fucking Battlefield shit. Long story short, I met a certain YouTuber you guys might know of. Shit. God damn it, this nigga name is lost on me right now. Actually, okay. MVP. I met MVP via his
MVP magazine.
Messiah.
Messiah. Yeah, I know who
That
that
nigga
is.
from like. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Good
met.
guy. No, he's a good guy.
My bad.
No, you straight. I met MVP. Just commenting on his shit. He invited me to a PlayStation to chill, and that's where I met my boy Biz. And Biz was talking me into doing some stuff which he can do, which is crazy. But he talked me into doing this YouTube shit. I wasn't really into it. I'm not here for the beef. I'm not here for the fuck shit. And I was a little hesitant on even starting the YouTube shit for real, like actually doing what I've been seeing from the Crumb side. But I actually started it up. We started streaming and stuff like that. We had a couple of streams with MVP. Also, I don't like name dropping, so I'm gonna leave a couple of names out. But we started streaming with MVP, and shit just started to grow. My channel ain't that big, but people like us. A lot of people like to see you not subscribe, hit the like button, share, shit like that. But then Kicks came through in the chat. We put him in. Relax. We put him in. And, we put him in our streams, and all of a sudden, all us like the three of us started clicking. So years later, I was like, you know what, man, I want to do a podcast, and I don't want to just talk about games because, like most of y'all said, gaming podcast was sprouting up out of every fucking way. I mean, it didn't matter where the fuck you looked. So I was like, fuck it, I just want to talk about something different. So we just to give y'all a little information on Kicking Sick Business, what we talk about is damn near anything that goes on in the media, and we talk about sex, not necessarily relationships, but we got a couple of things that we talk about. If y'all want to, y'all can go ahead and check it out.
They tried to get me messed up in that shit a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
It was a simple question. It was a simple question. All you had to do was give a number, and that was it. But but yeah, man. Happy to be here and just talk about topics. Do I consider myself as a YouTuber? Not right now, because of the fact that I have 5-month-old twins. I have a beautiful wife. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and that's my priority right now. As soon as these twins are able to, crawl and get into a little bit of mischief, then I should be able to start creating content or getting other things that'll help me start creating content per se. So no, I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but.
So you want them to get into trouble. Then you ain't going to be able to create any content. You'll be getting them out of trouble.
Listen, 10, 15 minutes without a sound in the house is good enough.
Okay.
Right? Then I'll worry. And then I'll be like, what the fuck's going on? I'll go ahead, get up, check. And if everything is straight, go ahead and get back to what I'm doing.
Before we get into one of the topics, I appreciate you guys giving your story, first of all, about how you got here. I think it's important because we've got some new people here as well. I think it's good to hear about you guys, where you're from, and I think they need to understand that if you're going to be an honest person, you tell about yourself, and I feel that's important. We also got, who else we got in here? Sasha Boy and Rob McLeod. What's going on, guys? Thank you for coming by. All right, so my first topic tonight, and also a topic that I've been wanting to speak on since I talked with, and I think you remember this, Lincoln Clay during Sick Humor's Gears of War live stream. I think you remember that, Lincoln, right? I guess Lincoln disappeared.
He dipped off.
I'm gonna get his ass. All right.
He said, "I want to hear these new niggas."
No. I'm here. I'm cooking though. I don't want to make a bunch of noise.
He's like, wait, no, I didn't want to. He's worried about that cyber whooping. That's why he said, "No, I'm back. I'm gonna listen." I was casually browsing through Twitter when all of a sudden I noticed I lost a few followers. Okay, which to me, it's not a big deal because some Xbox or PC gamers, okay, will follow me until I say something that they don't like or disagree with, and they unfollow. So I really don't. And I really don't care, you know. I mean, I don't get, like you guys said before, I don't get paid for this shit. I do it for the love and the fun of it. Okay. You know, and to me, it's all good because you're basically you know, you basically blocked by me after, you know, getting ass hurt. Yeah, you know, ass hurt, you have to unfollow over my opinion. I don't care. You know, I'll block your ass because then you're going to come in and start some shit. I don't need to hear from you. I'll block your ass. You don't have to keep following and unfollowing and then leave nasty messages. You're done. Okay. But what made it, yeah, but what made it a big deal was all of a sudden, this is what bothered me. Okay. I didn't see KingThrash on Twitter at all. Okay. Couldn't tag him. Didn't see him. And then I got a chance to ask my homie Lincoln Clay, is Thrash all right? Is his Twitter account gone? What's happening? You know, then when I figured out KingThrash caused more ass hurt than I could imagine in the gaming community. Okay. He actually did. And I'm going to have him speak on that in a second. Okay. Now, one thing I want to say before speaking, you know, like I said, speaking on this more, I have been saying on this channel since day one, the amount of views you get on YouTube doesn't matter. Okay. Viewership during live streams doesn't matter because your views, you know, your views can go up and down depending on how often or how little you keep up with YouTube. Okay. That's how it works. Okay. For the current YouTube world, 1 week is forever. I mean, you're not on YouTube for 1 week. That's like years to YouTube. Okay. But this is what matters. Quality of your content is what matters on YouTube.
Ooh.
Quality. That's what matters. Okay. So, with that being said, motherfuckers can keep all their casual viewers. They need, you know, that they need for people to tell them how to think. These are the people that, I can't think myself. So, you know, I'm going to watch and you tell me what to think. Fuck you. Keep your people. But people like me, people like Sick, Lincoln, Craig, Thrash, Royal Flush, Kicks, Biz, Sick, okay? Six. You know, I mean, honestly,
Yo,
you know.
Yo.
What?
Fucking up my name, yo.
I'm sorry, Sick. I'm sorry.
Just Sick.
God damn.
Sick.
You ain't got to get that crazy about it.
Yo, come on, man. Come on.
All right, we might gotta address it. I'm not sure, but finish your statement. My bad.
I'm sorry, Sick. Okay.
Thank you, man.
Lord.
God, yo, show me a little respect, yo.
I give you
right.
mad respect. See, now he's fucking with me because I fuck with him. All right, so that's why he's doing that. All right, guys.
Right.
But anyway, you know, the reason I said that is because we continue speaking to educated audiences. Okay, most of the time, unless you get some dumbass come in. That's why I name these people the thinking people. Okay, that's one thing I love about my viewers and sub. They're thinkers. Okay, they're not just stopping. You know, popping up on the stream with people claim to have inside sources without telling us what their source is. I have never been with any of these people that I named, and there's a couple others that have come to me and said something and said, I got an inside source, but not tell me what it's about, where they got it from, where they learned it from. I've never had that. These are intelligent people, okay? There's a lot of frauds in this gaming community, and I can't stand them. I hate when people say, oh, well, I got a source that told me we were going to get this for the PlayStation and this was going to happen on Xbox, but they don't tell you who the source is. You know, and you know, one thing is they say, I like this comment. Oh, well, I can't reveal my source because they're insiders. You are just some lonely ass fucking YouTuber that don't have no inside information. You just making shit up. You need to stop that. Anyway. Now, what they want to say, and then I'm going to let Thrash talk a little bit because and then I'll keep going. But now KingThrash ended up pissing off Digital Foundries. Okay, so much to the point that they ended up mentioning what he said in his video word for word. Okay, and for the record, I agree with KingThrash. Okay, about Gears of War 5, I do. So they may come after me, but Digital Foundries, I agree with them. So you're gonna come at me too? All right, whatever. These people at Digital Foundries basically kissed this game's ass, but didn't get technical about what they had. Why they had that such high of opinion of this game. Why? They didn't tell you. Why was your opinion so high of this game? Gears 5 doesn't have any moving plants. Come on now. I mean, you fucking melt through them. They don't move. There's breeze and wind and rain. I don't see nothing moving. Okay. It doesn't, it doesn't have better physics or destruction that games like, I'm sorry to say, like Uncharted 4, Infamous Second Son. I don't even have to. I don't need to name these games. These are, they are multiplats. Okay, here's an example. There are multiplats that make Gears look like a joke. Okay, at times. Just look at let me think. Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, even Battlefield 5. Okay, that doesn't mean that you can't have fun with Gears 5. I'm not saying that, but if we're going to keep it 100, okay, Gears 5 looks good for an Xbox game, which makes it an average looking game overall. And I got, I'm sorry. I got more to say about this, after this topic. I really do. But anyway, but it's crazy how quality content is more on the radar for the larger individuals on YouTube rather than these podcasts that have Patreons, podcasts that beg for money, podcasts that do clickbait. Now, I'm going to say something. And I know there are people out there that are going to get mad at me because they ain't talking to me now, but that's okay. KingThrash has, as a content creator, has not only been copied on YouTube, but he has also been attacked in low-key ways or high-key ways. Doesn't matter if you agree with Thrash or not. Just like it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not, or any of these people on this panel or not. It doesn't matter if you agree or not. We have a right to our opinion. But anyway, if you look at the track record, and I'm saying this for a reason, and I think Thrash knows why. Lincoln may even know why. He has been right about many things that became the truth. Okay? See, KingThrash, he's looking at things from a whole different perspective. Okay? He ends up explaining how things will go months before it happens. I've seen it. I've heard it. And I feel like the same thing will happen with Death Stranding. Okay? But I'm curious as hell to know what KingThrash thought of Digital Foundry trying to attack him. So I want to open this up to KingThrash, and then you guys.
Hold on. Oh, hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
What video was this on, or was it on a video, or like where they said his name, or they quoted anything that he's done?
KingThrash can tell you.
All right.
Yeah, they mentioned it somewhere. I can't think off the top of my head. It's late. It's been a long day.
Oh.
Thrash, go ahead. Let me think for a second. I did have a drink, so I mean I'm kind of not.
Hey, you was coming at me for not remembering my shit, nigga. I had like 8 beers. All right, go ahead.
Thrash, where are you? Thrash.
Oh man.
Oh come on! I did all this at Thrash.
He looking up the video. That's what it is. All right. Gears 5. Some people say it's the greatest. Some people say it's not. I don't know. Well, I don't have an Xbox. So, like, what makes it better than, let's say, the greater one, which is 2, which I hear a lot? What makes it greater than 2? Is it the graphics or is it the story? Like, I don't get it.
Well, I'm going to get into more of it later on, but I brought this up to say I wanted him to speak about how, about how Digital Foundries attacked him. You got you got a team of people making games, okay? You attack one YouTuber for their opinion? I mean, come on. I mean, that's not right. I put shit up. I've said shit before. I don't think it's the best. All right.
Why am I still in here? Y'all can hear me?
Now we can.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. Did you?
Man, this fucking happens weird. I'm talking the whole time like, nigga, I can hear you. What you talking about? I'm on. I'm trying to tell you, cut me off. I'm like, nigga, then I'm like, yo, you can't hear me. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on.
You probably cursing me
nigga,
out.
I mean, I don't even know what's going on.
All right, but I want to. Tell them exactly.
I've been here the whole time. This shit is crazy. I can't even see the what's the name.
Yes.
Hello. Mm-hmm. Oh, nigga, don't scare me. I'm telling you, nigga. No, they left a tweet looking for my video. Okay, this is how it all. I'll give you from the beginning to the end. All right, I make the video, right? Crow Cat. I don't know if y'all know who Crow B Cat is, or I call him Crow Cat, but his name is Crow B Cat. Big time YouTuber who does different analyses, but do it in his own way. You know what I'm saying? But tight, funny as fuck. He links my video. He must have saw my video, and he links it, and he puts it in his chat. And then a grip of people was hitting it up on the chat, and then people saw my shit through him, and then went back to Crow Cat shit, and was like, "Hey, bro, this KingThrash shit, bro." Like, you know, they saying, and the Digital Foundry dudes must have went to Crow B Cat shit, because more than likely they getting shit from him to help with their own fucking videos. And saw that, and then put on Twitter, I'm looking for this guy. He posted a picture of Crow B Cat's chat of people talking about me. They said, "Oh, I finally." The next one he put, he said, "Found it," right? And he posted my video. And then under that, he started talking shit and saying, "Oh, I wish I could do this," and blah 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 blah. Right? After that, a couple hours later, the nigga dead John Ledbetter, whatever the fuck the nigga name is, he started talking. "Oh, people are attacking the channel, and people saying this and blah blah blah. I'm stressed out. I'm gonna kick dirt in my face. Blah 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 blah." Right? And then they make a video. The next video they make is based on what? Borderlands? On Borderlands. And he talked about one of the points that I made word for word in my video. No, that's a little wife. I forget she'd be calling. But yeah, that's basically how that started. It started with Crow B Cat linking my shit. Well, me making a video, one of the best videos ever made in your life. But then, you know, it just blew up from there. Give me 1 second.
All right, hey,
what is he cutting? Why is he cutting out? And give me 1 second when he's supposed to be talking. It's his spotlight. Cutting out. All right, he's getting a cyber whooping tonight. But anyway, go ahead.
Real quick. I just wanted to say, man, I appreciate you for letting me come through, but the twins are calling, so I gotta go. All right, hey,
well, before you go,
yeah.
Once again, do an outro and tell everybody where to find you. Tell them your name, your link, whatever, the podcast, the time.
All right. First off, shouts out to Titanfall Princess for letting me come through. Shouts out to everybody that's on the panel, and shouts out to the chat. You can find me on my channel, just youtube.com/justsick24. And you can catch me on you catch us on Sundays, #BigBusiness Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. So again, appreciate y'all for letting me on, and hopefully we can do this some other time where I don't, have fatherly duties.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for your input and everything else. And like I said, I'll be back on your show when I get the time. I'll be back over there again, and then you guys can come over here again. All
right, that's what's up.
All right, so you have a good night and take care of those twins. All right.
All right, man. Thanks. Y'all take it easy.
All right.
Be my bad. I'm back. I'll just.
All right, Thrash, I'm gonna tell you something. When you're in the middle of talking, you don't dip out on this podcast. You know better.
Hey, I said, hold on, hey, nigga, the wife calling, nigga. Yes, I know better, nigga. The wife calling. The fuck you want me to do? I was on a podcast, baby. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? She will automatically bring up. What if I was getting kidnapped or killed? Come on. Yeah. I don't want to hear. That's why I didn't do it on purpose, my nigga. I told her ass, but My
See,
bad. My bad.
That's what Sick didn't get. I tell him I mess with everybody that's on a podcast, and when I go on their podcast, I mess with them there too. It's just who I am. We have fun.
Yeah, I know. I
Right,
know how it is.
but go
But
ahead. But go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
So then I guess they was hot about that, and then his whole fan base got hot, got mad at the shit, and everybody going back and forth just because I told the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I got called an asshole by them niggas. I got called all type of different shit, and I'm banned from Twitter at this time, right? I made another account. I got a new phone, but I got banned from Twitter, so I couldn't even react to him. If I could have react to him, I would have asked him, okay, where did I lie at? Like timestamp me, please. Where did I lie? Because them being dishonest about Gears was the truth, and it's like I don't understand a lot of people who want to battle or want to be mad at what I said. I'm like, y'all niggas low key should be questioning them, not me. I'm not the one who lied to you. I just pointed out the lie. And it didn't take much. I have a PlayStation at home. I don't have a fucking rig or no big ass. I use PlayStation to make my videos. Why is it I can see more than you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that I'm pointing out all the shit you said it had dynamic shadows, and then you said it didn't have dynamic shadows 100%. It was like he didn't even say 100%. The motherfucker said he said another term. It's like two different terms. He said two different terms that meant 100%. He said from top to, you know how you say like from top to bottom and shit. He said the motherfucker like said it like that, and I'm like, okay, but then you're gonna say this, and then I proved that the shadows were not 100%. You know what I'm saying? And then he said the lighting, and I wouldn't prove that. He said the reflections. I wouldn't prove that wrong. He said that there is scattering in the ears, like you can see the scattering. And he gave an example of an ear. If there's light behind, you can see the light shining through the ear, and you couldn't see no light. And I'm looking in his chat like, why didn't nobody call that out? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I did it because it was necessary. I've been on they've been on my radar to talk about, but I just didn't give a fuck because I'm like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make their money. They're not lying too hard. They're just leaving shit out. But when they lie, that's when I draw the line. When you lie to gamers, is where I draw the line. So I had to make the video. You know what I'm saying? And now my small ass channel has made a giant channel bend the knee. You know what I'm saying? And I remember a lot of gamers saying that hardcore gamers don't have a voice. And I remember myself telling them, nigga, you stupid if that's what you think. And I just proved that point with this whole scenario. Nigga, it don't matter if hardcore gamers are the smaller section of the motherfucking gaming industry right now. We have a voice as long as we use that shit. Because we can make if I can make these motherfuckers topple and bend the knee. I got news articles. I'm on NeoGaf. I didn't even know. Motherfuckers got Reddit posts about me and all kind of crazy shit. And it's like you can, as long as you put your voice in and do it, no matter if you hood or not, because trust me, my video is 100%. And you know, even people didn't like the language, they still was like, I cannot refute this guy. Digital Foundry needs to answer to this shit. And it's nothing but hardcore gamers telling Digital Foundry they need to answer to this shit. So we got a voice. It's just that motherfuckers just think they don't. They just feel like we got to do whatever these companies say. And Digital Foundry is not taking money, but they want to get paid with information from Microsoft. They do the same thing with PlayStation. With Horizon Zero Dawn, they got paid. They even said they got paid for some Horizon Zero Dawn videos. But I know they got some free information for other games on top of that. That's why Microsoft let them do the Scorpio. Just letting them exclusively doing the Scorpio got them and boosted their channel up back to where it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have 1 million views a whole year before that happened. And then they got that shit. And now every news article that had to do with the specs of the Scorpio had to include Digital Foundry and the link. That's how they get paid. They get paid through ad revenue like that. And I try to tell these people this shit, but motherfuckers don't want to hear it. They thinking I'm talking bad about Gears. I'm like, and I said in the video, nigga, buy Gears. Buy that shit. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's a great game. Buy it. But still, that's not enough because it was Gears. They feel like I'm attacking Gears. And in reality, all I'm doing is telling Digital Foundry to get your shit straight because I'm watching you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is other than that.
Hey, can you all hear me? Can y'all hear me okay?
Welcome, Mr. Craig Harris. What took
What's up, man?
What took you so long? Are you in the chat? And I sent you a link. So
I've
what's
been
going
waiting
on?
backstage for 40 minutes.
Oh Lord, you've been waiting backstage for 40 minutes. Get out of here. So all right.
He had twins, and he had he has a family, and I was listening to all that, and I was making a mean grilled cheese sandwich too. So,
What? All right. Now, see, he over there cooking, but did he offer anybody on the panel anything? No.
Well, come on.
All right. So, Craig, what we talked about so far. What are your thoughts on what we talked about so far? Do you have any comments from the beginning to where you're listening to now before we continue?
To those brothers, it was just on, and I agree. Damn, Thrash fell off. Hope he jumps back on. Yeah, I just but shout out to those brothers that are on. But I wanted to ask KingThrash about the lighting. He brought up that lighting situation. That I agree, that was terrible. But they were. I just think the whole thing with Digital Foundry is that, and Lincoln Clay brought this up last night because I had forgotten about. Remember the game Titanfall 2?
Yes.
And how shocked they were that when the Xbox version, they were comparing it to the PlayStation Pro, and the Pro was better.
Yeah.
They were literally saying, well, maybe we'll get some more code and stuff like that. And then that made me remember they did the same thing with Anthem. They did a separate video about 2 weeks after Anthem had come out, after their first video, trying to determine whether Microsoft had native 4K on that game. It was like they were going out of their way to show you that Microsoft had got Anthem to do some native 4K stuff. So,
but Craig, one thing I want to say what Thrash said about the lighting. Yeah. Parts of that lighting was horrible. I'm looking and it was like screeny, smoky. It was, and I'm like, what the hell? This is supposed to be Gears? No, there was some parts that, I'm gonna talk more about that, in a little bit, but but you could talk whatever you want. But Thrash was right.
Yeah,
and he did all that shit. You didn't even have leaves moving. Okay.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a storm outside. You got this one of the fucking I just call them monsters. I don't know which one this thing was called. Blowing rocks all over the place. But okay, why ain't the trees moving? Why ain't the leaves moving? You got this whirlwind and ain't nothing happening. Come on.
I just think it's first thing is as far as what the game looks like. It's it's on that Unreal Engine. So the fact that they were able to get the Unreal Engine to do what it's doing in that game is really good. But they as far as the destruction and all that stuff, they should have went with Frostbite, but or tried to get Frostbite because EA would have probably loaned that to them to make that game. But it just shocked me. Yeah, the whole thing with the lighting. Yeah, if you put a light behind your ear looks like it's glowing, and it didn't. And they were like bragging about that. And it's just, it literally seems like they went out of their way to say, well, this is just as good as this studio and that studio. It's like, and I'm not going to say they're getting paid. I won't say that much, but I will no longer argue against people who say that they feel they're getting paid, so that's just kind of the way I see it. But Thrash was right on. I was going to ask him about. He was on a podcast yesterday, and I didn't realize how how dumb people were. They would ask KingThrash a question, he would go to answer it, then they would interrupt him. So I wanted to ask him about that, but he dropped off.
He dropped off. Oh, usually he comes in and out. Because his wife's talking to him. I didn't know he dropped out.
Yeah.
He may be coming back in. Well, his girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Lincoln, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Kix, you still here, right?
It's just us three kittens right now.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Now, I want to get on this Gears of War 5 praise I've been seeing over the past week. I said I was going to get back into it. And guess what? None of the Xbots are even talking about this game now. Why? There were so many of them. Okay, they used to talk about this game, best game ever. So proud of the game. I don't hear them talking about them. Matter of fact, Gears of War 5 doesn't even look that good in sales. It doesn't. The sales were horrible. Okay, but when I tell people that it's stupid to put first parties on Game Pass, I'm looked at as a villain. I'm looked at as a villain. Why? I don't know why. I've been saying since day one that if you're a company of any kind, it doesn't matter whether it's gaming, TV, cars, food, I don't care what it is, anything. When you devalue your own product, you're telling everyone of your potential customers, okay, and even your current customers out there that you don't believe in the product you're trying to sell in the first place. And it never surprised me when Xbox games are low on the charts. It doesn't. And people can be mad at me all they want. It doesn't. Okay. All right. Who's loud over there? Somebody turn on your mic.
You got me. Whoever just popped in here.
I don't know. Somebody loud. Anyway, what does surprise me is that there's people that think Game Pass is a good idea. Okay. Even though it has been proven not to work. Is it good for the consumer? Yes.
Yes.
Excellent deal. It's an excellent deal. Brand name games for $1. And you're talking $1. Like I said before, you can keep going. They say it's $9.99, but $1. Okay. I get it all the time for $1 when I want to go to Game Pass. Okay, I don't pay no $10. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, anyway, for people, it sounds like the best deal in gaming, period. But when you consider how much it costs to produce one game, let's think about it for a minute, okay, guys? One game of medium quality is still a few million dollars, a few $1 million. A video game of high quality will be twice as much or more. Okay, we agree on that, I'm sure. Yeah. And there's no way people are really stupid enough to think you're getting your money back on a subscription-based service, especially a subscription-based service that practically begging you for new users. That's what they're doing. They're begging you by giving you all these crazy deals. Okay, that's why they do the $1 deal. Okay, and as you can see with Gears, it kind of didn't bring the developers didn't bring out everything they could have in that game because they're not making money on the subscriptions. Okay, back to Gears 5. Okay, because I didn't even voice my opinion on what I thought about Gears 5 yet. I beat the game. Okay, but up some game. I put up some game clips. Okay. I was not impressed with it until the last level, guys. And that says something. If you're not impressed with the game until the last level, that's bad. Okay. And I like Gears. I was a Gears fan back in the day. Okay. And even I even had a problem with the last level because the game gave you a choice. Okay. And the thing about choices in games is, how do we know what choice actually is true to the story? Okay. And how is that decided going forward? So those choices, do they decide on how the game for the next one's going to go forward? Or what? Is it actually part of the true story, or is it a false story? We don't know. Okay. So for me, I kind of agree with Thrash on that. A 7 out of 10. I don't think the game deserves any score higher than that. Okay. Based on a lot of things, which some of the things I named already. Okay. Now, I want to ask the panel here, did you guys play Gears? And what are your thoughts on Gears?
You want to take off first, Craig?
My thoughts on it is that it's broken. I couldn't play it, and so I'm waiting for another. I was saying shout out to Diver. I was saying this to Diver the other day on a podcast that I'll give it another week for them to fix it, and hopefully they come out with something. But so what I was playing, it was Gears. I agree with it. It was a lot of wind blowing on it, and my character was not affected by it. I mean, if the trees are blowing like that, the character should have some kind of physical response. But
well, that's great because I had trees that didn't blow.
Okay, yeah, but besides that, the game itself, it was Gears. I was playing a Gears game, and it was okay. But I didn't expect to walk outside some hotel and get to a firefight. My screen freeze. I'm like, well, I am not playing this dog shit. So give it 2 more weeks. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because there are people who are literally saying that they couldn't play the game because there was stuff on it that was broken. So just unfortunate for them, and especially if they bought the what like an 89.99 version or something like that. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. I was disappointed in the launch of the game. The game itself felt like a Gears game to me. Gears 4 did not have all these problems. So.
No, did not.
But,
You're right.
But overall, as far as what the game was looking like, yeah, it was fine. It does look great. It does look great. I put it on my 4K TV. It's a great looking game. But if I can't play it, doesn't matter what the girl looks like, so just so I hope it's fixed. I'm gonna try to load it up, God willing, later tonight to see what happens.
But isn't it a shame though, Craig, that you look forward to this? I mean, I look back to the first Gears. I mean, that's the one reason I bought my one Xbox because of Gears.
Yeah.
And then they go and do this, and then they give and what pissed me off the most, and you guys can laugh, I don't care what anybody says. They gave Coltrane the stupidest parts. I mean, they gave him like a couple lines here and there where he got to try to be funny, but they didn't make him like Coltrane. I mean, how could you go from these people, like the real masses, to these people and just drop these people out completely? Coltrane, to me, was one of the top characters in that game. And you give him shitty ass motherfucking parts. You get Baird more parts than he gave Coltrane. And Coltrane was the whiniest ones in the front. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, it's cold out here. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. I mean, come on. And, now supposedly he's the mastermind behind all this. All the building of shit and all this. He wasn't that in the past. Come on now. You can't do that. No, that's some false shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, they didn't transition in with the new characters well. I think you got a lot of people. It clearly shows me that a lot of people really depend and love on what Zaddy tells them. So they ran the Metacritic to. I still don't know why. And all Metacritic is an aggregate of a bunch of scores. They just say, oh, here's the average right now. So. But so it was like they couldn't enjoy the game, and then the game turned out to be busted anyway. So, but all the other stuff I know you'll get into. But as far as the game itself, for me it was just I was playing a Gears game.
Okay, Lincoln, what's your thoughts? You let Craig go first, so you go ahead now.
Okay, I really don't have much to go on because I haven't played it that much. Most of the information I got about Gears came from my son, but I will start off by saying, did it look like absolute dog shit on the Xbox One S? I have the Xbox One S. The edges was rough. The game looked dark. The colors was not good. But I will admit that the game did look good on PC. But I wasn't impressed with it because it looks like, they just now got into the same universe is PlayStation with some of the in terms of how the way the game looked. So it, I looked at it and I was like, okay, it looks good, but PlayStation already been doing this shit for years, and that's kind of the way I felt about the graphics. So it did look good, but nothing groundbreaking.
What was your son's thoughts on the game?
Well, my son was definitely disappointed in the beginning because he said the game was really buggy in the beginning. He was to the point where he was frustrated with it, where he wasn't playing it that much because of how broken the game was.
And one thing people got to realize, his son's not old. His son's young. So
my son's 13, but my son is a Gears nut. I created that monster, because I used to be a Gears nut through Gears 1, 2, and 3. So my son watched me play those games, and and he did the kid thing where he's holding the controller, even though it's not plugged up, because he was always trying to take the controller from me. But my son's a Gears nut, and so I definitely put some stock into what he told me about the game. He didn't say whether or not he liked the story or not. He just more or less expressed his frustration about how buggy the game was.
But that's what I'm saying. You got this, and like I said, Digital Foundry's got mad at Thrash for speaking the truth. But you got a 13-year-old child telling you it's buggy, there's something wrong. And to me, 13, that's still a baby. You know what I mean? That's a kid. It's a baby still. I mean, yeah, it's starting to become a teenager, but they're young. And for them to say a game is buggy, it's got to be buggy. If they're frustrated at their age, at 13, get that frustrated over a game, there's something wrong.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, he had a pretty flatline voice about it. I said, "You liking Gears?" He said it's buggy.
He didn't want to say nothing else. He's like, it's buggy. He probably gave you one of those look like, don't ask me no more questions.
I think that was a severe letdown for him because he was like hyped for that game for months, telling me he couldn't wait for it to come out. So I think once he got his hands on it and started playing it, because it's buggy across all formats, it was buggy on the PC too.
Wow. See, I don't play it on PC, so I wouldn't know. But see, now people out there who are listening, you got to understand, you're talking about people playing on more than one platform. So if they're saying it's buggy on all platforms, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's nothing new to me because, look how terrible State of Decay was when that came out. That at the time that State of Decay came out, that had to be one of the buggiest things ever to come out of Microsoft.
But Lincoln, I thought that was your favorite game. Let me stop.
What? Hey, you gonna make me turn into Ike Turner, this motherfucker, talking with that kind of shit.
I haven't had you on a podcast in a while. I gotta mess with you. Come on now.
Yeah, you definitely triggered me on that one. I can't tell you how many. I can't tell you how many streams I did calling it State of Dookie, State of Trash. Whatever you want to call it. That game, I never played it, but I think Royal Flush said it best. He's like, I don't have to have AIDS to know I don't want it. So
I got a question. You just said you want to turn that. I turn and bitch slap my ass for that? Oh shit! No, you didn't.
Maybe get a little rough with you, not
just a little rough. All right, but
yeah.
All right. Well, wait until you go to sleep and you're like in that nice little slumber, getting ready to go to work. Wait until you get that kick in your ass, that cyber whoop, and be like, "Oh shit, Princess got me." Anyway, I think we've exhausted that one enough. This is the last topic before we go. Okay, and I personally like it. Okay. Sunset Overdrive is officially owned by PlayStation. Yes. Okay. Because I love Sunset Overdrive. Okay. Doesn't surprise me at all considering Sony acquired Insomniac Games. Okay. Now, for the people that never played Sunset Overdrive, okay, it plays like Ratchet and Clank. Somewhat. You know what I'm saying? Right down to like the weapon upgrades. You got to upgrade your weapons and do all that just like you do on Ratchet and Clank. Okay. How you grind on rails. Okay. There's a lot of other stuff involved that you get to do. It doesn't have any real memorable characters, I will say. Or or as good of a flushed out story, but it was definitely one of the Xbox games that offered more for the Xbox than the usual bro shooter games. I will say that. Okay. Another thing I will say is it had a lot of replay value. You can always go back and replay it. You were constantly playing that game. Okay. You got to do some other crazy shit in the game. I'm not going to get into all the details, but there was a lot of other shit because I think that maybe Insomniac may make it better than it was before. So, I don't want to. I hope they do because I enjoyed the game. Okay. What does that mean for Sunset Overdrive going forward to you now that Sony owns the IP? Now, do you guys know about Sunset Overdrive? Did you play it? And what does that mean to you guys? To me, I think it's good because I think Sony would do something, give them the creativity to go ahead and do and the time to make it better. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Lee.
Okay, well, I hate to admit it. I think if they were to reintroduce Sunset Overdrive on the PlayStation, it's definitely going to sell better than what it did on the Xbox.
Oh yeah.
For one thing, there's a much bigger user base over on the PlayStation side, and there might even be a little bit of fanboyism involved with a lot of people being happy that Sony acquired Insomniac. I could also see Sony releasing that game as a bundle, as a follow-up, to whatever Insomniac might put out, but that if they did do that, if they did a Sunset Overdrive sequel, it'd probably be years before we see that because I'm under the impression they probably hard at work already on the next Spider-Man, probably as well as some VR projects because I think Sony hit a home run picking them up because I don't play flat screen games anymore. But that's still a big pickup for me because they're going to bring us great VR games. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do down the road.
My thing is that with the way Sony is, Sony may actually give them a little extra to hire people to maybe a smaller team to work on this while they're working on, like you said, the Spider-Mans and the VRs. They have their people to do that. But maybe Sony will allot them X amount to do the Sunset Overdrive, to reinvent the first one, and then after they reinvent the first one, start a second one. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. And I think if Sony gives them the green light to do a sequel to Sunset Overdrive or even remaster the current one, I would like to think that it's going to come out good because we keep hearing so much about how Sony gives these developers creative freedom. It's like if Sony gives you the green light, they say, okay, and then I guess step out of the way and just periodically check on people. So I would be curious to see what it looks like. I have to be honest. If a new Sunset Overdrive were to come out tomorrow, I wouldn't buy it. And that's not a knock on them or the game itself. It's just everybody knows where my stance is right now. I'm fully committed to VR, and I barely play flat screen games anymore.
Oh, we're gonna have to change that shit. So see, now you're getting two cyber whoopings for that. But anyway, two cyber whoopings for that shit. Craig, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm glad it's been confirmed. I know a lot of people when Sony bought Insomniac Games, they were wondering if they had, if that was part of the deal. So and I kept saying, well, eventually Sony's going to have to come out and say yes or no, So it's good it's been confirmed by Sony that they do own it, and I expect that game to be on PlayStation probably by next E3. It'll probably be one of the games they show at E3. Just as a reminder, and then maybe a follow-up to it. That'd be cool.
I mean, I'd love to play that game again on PlayStation. I really would.
Yeah, let them do like a 1080p 60 mode or something like that, and on that game, and because it looked crazy, and it just didn't sell well. But again, the fact that it's been confirmed. My whole point is, and something that you said earlier about the accuracy of your podcasting. That's why I've always said it's not official until the studio comes out and says it. So, when they bought Insomniac, people were asking me. I'm like, well, yeah, I told you all they were going to try to get Insomniac, but I didn't know that would go through. I thought their thing with House Marquee would go through first, but at the end of the day, I did not realize that I had forgotten that Insomniac made that for Microsoft and for the Xbox, and it's on all other platforms. Isn't it going to go to the Switch, or isn't it on the Switch or something like that? So yeah, now everybody will have it. It's not that big a deal, but yeah, I'm glad they confirmed.
My thing is that I'm glad that they do have it, because now Sony can do something else with it. Maybe make a sequel. Okay, I did enjoy the game on Xbox. Okay, I thought it was one of the better games that had replay value and everything else. And for people, my thing is it didn't sell well, and I know people are going to hate me for saying that. I'm going to be the bad apple again. I'm going to lose some followers or whatever, but I don't care. Because people on Xbox don't support games.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And that's where it happened. Give me 1 second, guys.
Okay. Well, let me say this while she's taking care of something. I think that once Insomniac, I'm led to believe that right now they might be working on Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
That's Guerrilla. That's Guerrilla Games.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But where I was going to go with this is I wouldn't be surprised if Insomniac gets split up in teams of 2 or 3, because I think they're going to be working on multiple projects. Yeah. Being that I do believe they're going to be working on some VR projects for Sony, and the VR game's probably only going to be half or 1/3 the size of a Spider-Man sequel. So I think the bulk of them are probably going to be working on a Spider-Man sequel, while smaller teams work on VR titles. But I do think they're going to be working on multiple projects at the same time.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't shock me. I don't know if they'll put. It'd be nice to see that. That doesn't seem like it's Sony's style to go in and say, well, get some to do this and some to do that. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, my whole point is that they own it. They own it. So that's a big deal. So if there's going to be a sequel, it will only be on it'll probably be on PC and PlayStation.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm back. That's fine, because as long as PlayStation owns it, when the sequel comes out, it'll be good. Because I know Sony's going to give them the creative rights to do what they need to do. I just got to address one thing real quick. Whoever you are in the chat, stop trying to be a fake me, asking people to give out links and do dumb shit. Get your ass out of here. You ain't the Titanfall princess. I'm on here. I ain't in the goddamn chat acting retarded. So shut the fuck up. All right? Don't mess with me tonight. I ain't in the mood.
I'm Princess.
I'm having a good time with my homies here. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
One thing, Princess, that's one thing I definitely don't miss. Because when I was caught up in this console war, say about a year and a half ago, whatever the case may be, I knew that when I started my channel, I was eventually going to have to deal with trolls once it came out that I favored Sony. Because I studied the console war before I started my YouTube channel. So I saw the kind of toxicity that was out there. So I had a funny feeling that I was going to end up dealing with some toxic Xbots. That's one of the reasons why I let it be seen what I look like. Because if somebody decide they're going to tell me they're going to jump on a plane to come whoop my ass, I want them to see who's going to be waiting at that door when they get there.
No, you're right, though. Listen, I put part of my pitch up, okay? Because I don't want, because with females, you know what they do. They distort it, put on other bodies. They tried that shit with me already. But anyway, they don't know what they're going to be dealing with. They're going to be dealing with some feisty fucking redhead Okay, that's Irish on top of that, and I'm gonna whoop their fucking ass. Come in here. I got nunchucks, I got samurai swords, and I got my fists. So what do you want? Tell me what you want.
I'll take the fist for 100, Alex.
I don't know
But,
about
you know,
that. I don't know about that because my clips didn't come out. But somebody tried to do their poses. I put that up. I'm gonna put my arms up. You can see the muscle that I got on top of my arm and my forearm. I could turn it if you put your arm up, and I bet you Lincoln can contest to that. You put your arm up straight on the side with your fist, right? You turn your fist to the side and tightens up that forearm. It's solid. It's solid, bitches. So come on in and you can have it. You can have it.
I will say that's the one good thing about me making the jump to VR, because there's no war over in the VR community. Everybody is doing their part to try to promote VR, to try to help get it to the mainstream. And it's mostly positivity. Most of the games that I play multiplayer, when I meet up with other people, it's like 99% positive. And I might be stretching it by saying that, but I say at least 90% positive. I count on one hand how many times I've run into jerks in some of these games that I play on VR, and I can count on one hand how many times somebody jumped in my comment and said something that sounded troll-like. But I was kind of dealing with that shit, quite a bit when I was kind of caught up in this console war. So that's some shit I definitely don't miss.
I remember when you started playing VR and you playing that boxing game, you were playing that. I used to watch you. I used to watch you and listen to you. I used to laugh my ass off. You're like, come on. You think you got me? Come on. And you can hit them. I told you. And you be yelling at them. I mean, it was funny as hell. It was funny as hell. I could see how you enjoy doing it. But you can't. One thing I will say, for, like you said, flat screen, don't let those people take you away, because I'm still gonna you're still gonna play me in some games so I can whoop your ass.
No question.
All right, we can't do that. But listen, I appreciate you guys coming through. It was our last time. Before I go, do you guys have a topic, either one of you, that you want to bring up and talk about real quick before we go? Like something that you heard of, or that maybe I didn't bring up, that should be just mentioned to the public, to the gamers out there that really care?
No, I don't have anything.
That's something about The Last of Us Part 2. So about it being shown in Spain in a few more weeks. So like October 3rd or 4th is they're going to be the first to see it, or something like that. The public at that point will see it then. We'll have to wait and see if that's true. As far as a rumor.
Okay.
That was it.
Yeah, well, we got nothing else, guys. Listen, we appreciate you guys coming through and listening to us, okay? And I appreciate you guys a lot for coming by. We're gonna do our outros right now, okay? So let's start out with Mr. Craig Harris. You get to go first because you took too long to get here. But go ahead, Craig.
Well, yeah, I was waiting backstage.
I don't want to hear you saying you were waiting backstage. You better stop that shit.
But thanks for having me on, and I was able to jump on. And yeah, thanks for having me. And shout out to everybody. Everybody that was here. Sub to all of them. They're good people. And have a good night.
And I want to thank you for coming by, Craig.
Oh, no problem.
And then we got Mr. Lincoln Clay, who I haven't had on my podcast in a while. I mean, we've been in contact, but we haven't done a podcast together. So go ahead and do your outro, Lincoln.
All right, no question. First of all, big shout out to the Titanfall Princess for having me on board. Second, it is your boy, the godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder, the VR king of the crumb side, your boy, Lincoln Clay. And just like the old days, I got to let y'all know, y'all better hit that like button or I'm going to come out there and start smacking flames out y'all ass. Hit that like button, y'all. Thanks for having me on, Princess.
I forgot you used to say that shit. Smack the flame out your ass. I want to thank all the other members that had to go early for being here. I appreciate them all. Okay. And of course, you know who I am. I am the Titanfall Princess. you better smack that like button. Don't worry about Lincoln. You better worry about me cyber whooping your ass all night long. All right. But anyway, I appreciate Lincoln having my back. And listen, we're out of here. Thank you very much. Hit that like button because you all know you love me. Later.
Peace, y'all.
Peace out.
Listen, thank you guys for coming through. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.